Hey everyone, welcome to another video for the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about a bike that's got half the industry shaking, the gorgeous ZXJC 820RR, also sold under the name ZX Moto 820RR. And I'm not exaggerating. Behind this project is Zhang Shui, the same man who founded Cove and took it all the way to the Dakar Rally and the Supersport World Championship before walking away in 2024 to start from scratch. His new venture is internally called Project 299, a name that leaves no room for doubt. 299 kilometers per hour is the ceiling the Japanese and Europeans set for themselves over 2 decades ago, and China just came knocking on that door with a closed fist. We're talking about an 818 cubic centimeter inline triple, putting out 144 horsepower that's already racking up wins in the Supersport World Championship with Valentin Debise on board. Its rivals? The MV Agusta F3800, Triumph Daytona 765, Yamaha R9, CF Moto 675 SS, and Zontes 703RR. The ZXJC 820RR isn't just showing up to compete, it's matching the MV Agusta on power and topping most of this list on displacement and performance, all at a price that, as we'll see, makes the European competition look ridiculous. So guys, stick around till the end because this review is going to change the way you see Chinese motorcycles. Let's get into it. Visually, the 820RR doesn't hide its influences. The front fairing echoes the aggression of Germany's BMW S1000RR and the sharp edge of the Honda Fireblade, while the tail and rear lines openly flirt with the visual language of the Yamaha R1 family. The chassis is an aluminum perimeter frame, the same construction philosophy used by high-displacement superbikes. And the inline 3-cylinder engine shares some curious details with the MV Agusta F3's triple, including a timing chain positioned on the left side of the engine, a detail that's anything but coincidental. The brand, founded in 2022 by Zhang Shui under the technical name Zhang Shui Jiacheng, hence the initials ZXJC, had already proven its manufacturing chops with the 500RR, a mid-range 4-cylinder that sold more than 10,000 units, plus the retro-styled 500F. The 820RR, then, isn't the whim of some improvised brand. It's the second major chapter from a manufacturer that's already shown it knows how to build high-revving engines and lightweight chassis. There are 3 factory finishes: the 820RR, 820RRR, and 820RRRS, plus a naked variant, the 820R, which shares the engine platform and chassis but targets a more urban, accessible rider. Let's get to the heart of the beast. The ZXJC 820RR runs an 819 cubic centimeter inline 3-cylinder engine, liquid-cooled, with DOHC valve timing and a rev range that stretches all the way to 15,250 revolutions per minute at the fuel cutoff. In base trim, it puts out 133 horsepower at 13,500 revolutions per minute and 85 newton-meters of peak torque at 10,500 revolutions per minute. The mid-tier version, the 820RRR, bumps compression up to 13.3 to 1, swaps the steel valves for titanium, and pushes power to 145 horsepower at 13,500 revolutions per minute, with a red line that climbs to 14,750 revolutions per minute. At the top of the range, the 820RRRS adds titanium connecting rods and valves, plus a full Akrapovic exhaust, to edge close to 150 horsepower with the lightest weight in the whole lineup. Transmission is a 6-speed sequential, with a bidirectional quickshifter standard on the R and RS versions. As for weight, the number has sparked some debate. The brand initially announced a dry weight of just 168 kilograms for the base model, putting it in the same ballpark as a Yamaha R6 or a Suzuki GSX-R 750, though later revisions point to a wet weight of 180 to 190 kilograms depending on the version, with the Triple R coming in at 186 kilos and the range-topping RS under 177 kilos. Claimed top speed is 299 kilometers per hour. When it comes to the chassis, this superbike comes very well equipped, though with some nuances depending on the version. The base model runs an inverted fork and a rear monoshock paired with an aluminum swing arm with an interesting detail for the more demanding riders out there. The steering head angle is adjustable, something typically found on track-oriented bikes. The 820RR raises the bar with a fully adjustable 43mm KYB inverted fork and a KYB monoshock, also mounted on an aluminum swing arm. At the top of the range, the 820RRRS relies on Öhlins suspension as standard. Braking across the entire RR lineup is handled by Brembo. 4-piston radial mount calipers on the base model, M50 calipers on the RRR, and the exclusive Brembo GP4 system on the RRRS. A real luxury for this price segment. And heads up, because the naked 820R variant, which is the more affordable one, does rely on Chinese components. Yuanan for suspension and Taisco for brakes. So don't mix up one version with the other when comparing specs. The wheels are forged alloy on the higher-end versions, which helps reduce unsprung weight and improve direction change agility. Seat height comes in around 820 millimeters, a number befitting a pure superbike built with medium to tall riders in mind. This is where the ZXJC really gets serious on the electronics side. The bike features a 6-axis inertial measurement unit, the same technology used by premium European and Japanese superbikes to manage lean-sensitive traction control and cornering ABS with pinpoint precision. The RRR version adds 5 selectable riding modes, cruise control, smart keyless ignition, a tire pressure monitoring system, and a bidirectional quick shifter that lets you shift up and down without touching the clutch. The dash is a 6.2-inch color TFT display running on Android, opening the door to connectivity, navigation, notifications, and over-the-air updates. Something that until recently we only saw on flagship Ducati or BMW models. Bottom line, folks, this Chinese model delivers an electronics package that has nothing to envy in premium sport bikes, and one that with most direct rivals you'd only get by paying thousands of dollars extra in accessories or top-tier trims. And here comes the blow that's rocked the market, its price. This motorcycle officially launched in China for around 62,000 yuan, roughly the equivalent of $8,000, with a special Champion Edition inspired by Valentin Debise's racing colors for a small extra cost. And the naked 820R variant starts even lower, at around $6,000. Compare that to an MV Agusta F3 800, which in many markets tops $16,000, or a Triumph Daytona 765, which runs at similar figures. The difference is simply staggering. Now, here's an interesting detail that reveals the brand's philosophy. ZXJC has put in place a policy banning the sale of this 820 series to riders with less than a year of experience, and even offers a reward to anyone who reports an irregular sale. As for the ranking of direct rivals, here's how we see it. First, the MV Agusta F3 800. Still the technical benchmark of the triple-cylinder segment. Second, the ZXJC 820RR itself, matching it in power for a fraction of the price. Third, the Triumph Daytona 765. Fourth, fellow Chinese brand QJ Motor S RK921RR, a step up in displacement. And rounding out the top 5, the Yamaha R7 and the CF Moto 675 SS. Both with less power, but with far more established after-sales networks worldwide, something that still works against emerging Chinese brands. So, what does the ZXJC 820RR leave us with? It leaves us with a bike that, on paper, matches or beats rivals costing double or triple the price, with spec sheet that just 5 years ago we would have called science fiction for a purely Chinese brand. A 150 horsepower triple-cylinder engine, premium-level electronics, Brembo brakes, KYB or Öhlins suspension depending on the version, and a price that's forcing Europe and Japan to rethink their business strategies right now if they don't want to get left behind. The big unknown remains the same one it always is with these brands: the after-sales network, real-world parts availability, and whether those power and weight figures hold up once the bike gets into the hands of an actual rider, not just on a showroom stand. For now, there's no confirmed arrival date for the United States, and in Europe we already have it in a couple of countries. We're hoping that by 2027 the brand improves its presence across the continent. Let me know in the comments. Would you dare to trade a well-known European name for this Chinese bike with impressive numbers at half the price? Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, drop a like, ride safe, and see you next time.